Hello, I'm back and we are going to do a landscape that's kind of loose. So here she is, and this is a photo. This is kind of an area where I walk. I have walked before. This is in our town. Really kind of pretty, kind of high desert. So, and here's the painting. See that? Very easy. We've got, I really like it because there's a little trail that kind of disappears. It's kind of your point of interest. It kind of disappears here behind the sagebrush and the bushes. We've got kind of some sandstone mountains, some foothills back here in the real lime green. And I love the contrast in this, so let's get to it. I'm going to show you how to do a fun landscape. So, right now we're going to do the sky. So I've mixed cerulean blue and ultramarine blue. And then here I've mixed burnt umber and alizarin crimson. Burnt umber and alizarin crimson, a little bit of yellow ochre, and really watered it down. So first off, I'm going to show you guys how to do a sky with some clouds. So you're going to take your big brush and you're going to get it wet. And you're going to get your area wet. You're just going to get the sky area wet. So we're going to rock and roll pretty fast. Kind of go around the little sandstone foothill. Okay, get her nice and wet so that you can see, and if it's shiny, it's wet. Now what you're going to do, and if it's a little too sopping wet again, you can take your brush, give it a squeeze with your napkin, and just kind of daub it on the paper to kind of suck up some of the excess water. And then here we go. We're going to take the cerulean blue and ultramarine blue, and I'm going to show you how to create clouds. We're just kind of go from the top. And when you're looking at a piece, you don't have to do the clouds exactly like this. I'm just going to kind of build my own clouds. So with watercolor, you don't usually have white paint that you use the white of the paper. So I'm using my big brush, and I'm just going to, actually I might even switch over, since this is such a little area, to my number 7. And I'm just going to kind of pop in where I want my blue. Where I want my clouds to be is where I don't put my paint. I switched over to a 7 because I'm in a littler area and I kind of wanted to have a little more control. And I'm just going to, you've got a few clouds coming up back here in the here. So you just kind of skip around and leave the white of the paper. So you can kind of create any kind of cloud you want. I think that looks pretty good. I just kind of wanted to give the idea that you've got, maybe I'll do a little bit of blue right here, so it's nice and wet, and it's just kind of going to do, the watercolor is going to do its own thing. I think I'll leave that alone. When it dries, it's pretty neat. It'll be pretty cool. Kind of have a neat little set of clouds. So you just kind of put the blue around and let the white of the paper, you kind of get what you get. That looks pretty good. So while I'm letting this dry a little bit, I'm going to go ahead. I don't want to touch anything that's touching the sky because my sky is really wet right now. So I don't want to do any of the mountain here, any of the foothills, because it'll just bleed into my sky. So right now what I'm going to focus on, I'm going to go ahead and do this little trail. And that was the burnt umber, alizarin crimson, and a little bit of yellow ochre. And it's really watered down. And this is really easy. I'm just going to very lightly put in my road, my trail. This is actually a trail in the foothills. And I'm actually even going to, as you see in the photograph, the tan goes all the way over here too. So I might as well just pull it all the way over here. And then maybe a little bit, I've got some burnt umber, a little bit heavier, not too heavy. I might even just throw a little shadow or just some interest across my road or my path, trail, excuse me, right here. While it was wet, I just took some burnt umber that was really watered down and just throw it along this side. Just kind of gives it a little bit of dimension, the trail there. And I might even take a little bit of the same color just here and there. Of the burnt umber. Just to kind of, and it's kind of fun sometimes to leave like little things of white. Okay, so that's a, I'm just going to take some clean water and just kind of pull that up. Okay, so you're going to do your sky first, and then you leave the white. You just kind of take your blue and go around and leave spots of white. You get it wet, and those are your clouds. And then you're going to take your burnt umber, alizarin crimson, a little bit of yellow ochre, watered down, and just very lightly put in your trail head. There's your trail, and then here, where it's a little darker, a little bit of your burnt umber. So that's a good spot. So what it is we did the sky first, and we did the trail, and we did a little bit of the base at the base of the foothills. And there's the picture. And I will see you next time when we get ready to do the foothills.